truly wanted heaven as their eternal home, and those who didn't. Because if everyone just went to heaven, there would be people in there that wouldn't want to be there, and it would be torture.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it says in the Bible too that the truth will be revealed to them, the gospel, so to speak. Some will deny it too. Not everyone will accept it. So I think ultimately it comes down to choice, free will, a good and evil, like Paul said too. There's always a good and evil. I think having that dynamic is huge, because if it was perfect, if everything was lined up, you were in heaven right away, like it's almost like it was forced upon you. But true love, like a God with his character, Jesus Christ, he has you choose that author of love him.
I'll say this. I think, heaven is a place for a human being who has purified his soul to the extent that he is worthy of communion with the glory of the living God. I don't think that heaven exists, without that being what we work towards in this life. That's why we are called to wittily, make our decisions and serve God in that manner, because for one, he's deserving of all the glory and the praise, but by doing so, our soul becomes purified and becomes more prepared to be in the presence. St. John of the Cross has a spiritual book where they were talking about how, kind of, you could call it theoretical of heaven, that in heaven, even all the beings in heaven and everything seems as if they are dim compared to the throne and God on the throne. So it's God infinite in all of his love and his knowing, his knowledge of, he's omniscient, knowing of all things. His good isn't, I don't think his good is held back by anything. It's infinite. So the human soul can theoretically infinitely spire up towards a higher good, and you're still never going to reach, the possibility of that good, what its potential really is. So I think if it was just you were created and there was no trial to go through, no tribulation, I think it discredits the pure goodness that we're actually working towards. The force, because I don't. If the good is given out like that, and there's nothing to be done with it, to receive it, to pass it on to others, to serve, to obey, what value does it have? If it's just good, that's it. It's. I don't know if that helps. That's just kind of how I'm trying to picture this in my mind. Is that there is a real logical reason why we are called to do good and not bad, and the ultimate treasure that you can gain by living by that is heaven. But if it was just boom, you're created and you're there, I can't.
Doesn't make sense.
It does. Think about, does that relate to your life right now? Logically, you still have to go choose the good and not the bad. You have to do that. And we can easily become complacent and not. So I think that's for a reason. God is eagerly watching, wanting us to align our wills closer with his, but he doesn't freely, boom, let us have that. And if he did, it wouldn't be worth what it is truly worth. By using your free will to serve him faithfully and obediently. Does that make sense?
No, dude, that was great input, man. Got a lot from that.
Just think, if you were created and you were in heaven, does that analogy pair one-to-one with what you're living right now? you know,
No, I
because
mean,
God
dude,
God
like-
designed this whole life and us, right? So
Yep.
an analogy that doesn't pair with the reality, what's real, it can't be from God, because God is ultimate reality. God is the bedrock of all reality. So I think logically you can discern your way through that example, that analogy, by saying what's, just is it reality? Is it what I'm witnessing?
Yeah. I think if we were automatically created in heaven too, we wouldn't appreciate it near as much because it would be normal for us. But here on earth, we've lived this life of struggle, of sin. We've seen the world, what it can do to a person. And then going to heaven after that, I think it just shows so much more appreciation once you get there too.
Listen,
It's
there's
like,
a reason
wow.
there's a reason why ordinary men can do extraordinary things. It's because they can gaze at the heavens, and if it was freely given, there'd be no ordinary extraordinary. There'd be no miracles like that. There'd be no stark events that show good and evil and how they really work on the human heart and soul.
Yeah. You think of other religions and what they practice too, and some very satanic ones too. I mean, you think of like Eternal Take, God's Gate, I think it was called, something along those lines. But they were fascinated by the idea of their God and what heaven was like, that they literally committed suicide to just get there. I know it's crazy to think about.
Just think about that. Would the all-knowing, all-loving God will them to commit suicide?
No. I don't think that would be in God's character to have that thought.
The answer to that is just no.
Yeah.
And that's very sad because they were greatly misled by whatever
it was
that spirit was.
Devil, probably Satan.
Of course.
It was Heaven's Gate. You guys look it up sometime. It's called Heaven's Gate. They pulled up a purple robe and black Nikes, and they all killed themselves in this mansion.
Oh, dude!
Because they were promised eternal life in heaven, but I don't know which God they were.
It almost doesn't matter because it's not the true God. So here's the thing I want to stress majorly. Obviously, I'm a great admirer of Aquinas because he paired rationality and the intellect and the mind and what it's intended for. Your mind, when you're thinking clearly, will not fail you. Your faith will not. Would the true God, my God that I follow, will me to do this? Now, we can't discern, a lot of the gray area, but if it's something like that, your mind is not going to fail you. Would God really will this for me?
No.
There's no shortcuts to what He has in store for me. I have to deny myself and be carried by the Spirit.
That's right.
If I rationalize too hard on it, if I do this and I follow this cult and I kill myself, I can end up with my God. You have guided yourself there. You haven't died to yourself and allowed the Spirit to carry you and I think upward.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about purpose and our mission. Here on earth, our purpose is to make disciples of all nations, spread the gospel. And if we were to take the easy way out, so to speak, what people call it, that's destroying the whole mission. His mission to bring people closer to Christ. I mean, that takes away from it. So I don't think God would approve of that by any means.
No. You work towards your end in this life, and the best way to end would hopefully be a graceful death, feeling the love of Jesus, of the Father, of the Spirit, and your soul being ready to go. Life and death are unique characteristics to God. God at conception endows the baby with the soul, and when it's your time to go, God calls you home. No, man shouldn't have a role in there unless it's out of self-defense or, of course, something like that. But it's taking your own life ultimately, and I know that that's a tough subject, but that's not God's will. I don't think you can say that.
I agree. That's right, man.
You know, I am God and you're not. Let that be the whole revelation for you.